The support that we receive from Literacy First, I think, is the key component that sets Literacy First apart from other companies like them. I think it's the ongoing training that you get, and it's training that's given not as a cookie cutter type of training, but it's responsive to the needs of our teachers. And when the consultant comes into our building, does walkthroughs several times a year, she sees the needs that our teachers have. She's able to observe how they're implementing different strategies and techniques that they have already received, build upon those, fill in holes that she may see. And I think that's just invaluable. Not only the teachers she's currently working with, but teachers that have been to to the training previous years have the benefit of seeing her again, stopping her in the hall and asking a question if something has come up. As we address the different content areas, our consultant goes out of her way to make sure that she brings activities and exercises that are specific to their content areas. It's not only that particular aspect, but teachers that, for whatever reason, have had difficulty grasping what the administration, what kind of changes we want to see in their classroom, if they've had difficulty implementing those, we have that opportunity to ask them if they'd like to go through the training again. And we have some teachers that have, after a year or two, have said, I'd like to get a refresher. Can I do that? And the way Literacy First is designed gives us that freedom, and our teachers just receive the ultimate in support, and I just think it makes a world of difference. Walls that teach were a new concept to the teachers in our building. So when Literacy First brought in that idea in their training, many of our teachers really grasped onto that to teach vocabulary specifically. It allowed them to tie one unit into the next unit. When that information is on the wall, it allowed the teacher to constantly be able to go back and review that information to make sure the students were retaining the various concepts in their content area. Not only that, but many of our teachers have gone a step further and made these walls actually designed by the students and have conversations with the students. Do you think that would be a good vocabulary word to put on our word wall? And if they did, then at that time put it there, so they're interacting with that word wall at the same time. It's not just a poster that the teachers put on the wall, but something that the students have ownership in. And I think having that kind of information and referring to it on an ongoing basis in the classroom helps students become independent learners. They learn to use their environment, and the environment is there to benefit their own learning. Flexible grouping and literacy stations, as implemented in our intensive classrooms through Literacy First, look a little different than centers. I was familiar with centers. I have an elementary background and have taught at the middle school level, but our students are in small groups as they would be in centers, but it's centers on steroids, if you will, because they're assessment driven. Students are in that small group for a specific purpose. They're there to address a need. They're flexible. So as a student learns a skill, a teacher assesses, the groups are ever changing. And that's what sets it apart from any type of tracking. And I think students in that small group setting learn in a way that I don't see them learning in any other classroom. I have the opportunity to be in many classrooms throughout the day, and it's just invigorating to see students who in a whole group setting will be dismantling their pencil, completely unengaged in the lesson in a whole group setting, but yet in a flexible grouping session with a teacher, the teacher has their full attention. So in that classroom, they may get 2 in our particular situation, 2 20-minute flexible grouping situations happening, learning sessions, and that may be 40 minutes of explicit instruction that the student is actually 100% engaged. And I think that is an attribute to the success of Literacy First and what it's been able to do for our students.